the 45th and 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. I want to thank the President of the United States, our Commander-in-Chief, Donald Trump. We could not have a better Commander-in-Chief than him. It is the honor of a lifetime to serve under you. We look forward to having the backs of our troops and having your back in executing peace through strength, in putting America first, and in rebuilding our military.
We got to talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. We got a major event going on today for the 250th birthday of this country. And also, so it just so happens to be Uncle Trump's birthday. Yeah, Uncle Trump's birthday. So shout out to Big 47. All right. Shout out to 47, the greatest president ever. All right. The greatest president ever. Even though his own party is fighting against him, which, man, you know, it just makes you wonder how much better it could have been had his own party not been fighting against him. John Thune, thinking of you. He's up for re-election in 2028 in South Dakota. How much better it would have been had he not had to fight against his own party, because he's already fighting against mainstream media, plus the Democrats. You know, if his own party just stood behind him the way that we do, man. I mean, it's already good, but it would have been absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And yet he's still, in my humble opinion, the greatest president ever. But that's just my opinion. But we got to talk about the events going on today. And one of the big events is, well, the big event is UFC 250. Yes, a UFC event on the South Lawn of the White House. And of course, you know, Democrats losing their minds over it. Oh, Trump's going to have a fight on the South Lawn. He's going to have a fight at the White House. But, you know, I never heard these same Democrats complain when Joe Biden had, where was it? I thought I saved the video clip. When Joe Biden had this going on at the White House. I can't play the music. Yeah, when he had the big pride event at the White House, and then at some point you had one of these folks pulling out their breast on camera at the White House. You know, didn't hear them complain about that. Not even a little bit. Yeah, it was that individual, whoever that was, right there. I'm gonna pause it there though. You know, we ain't gonna show the whatever you want to call it getting pulled out, because I guess they aren't even real titties. But anyway, let's hop into this promo vid for the UFC event that is taking place. I'm definitely going to be watching it. Are you?
But the landmark event we're witnessing tonight is not entirely without precedent. At the dawn of the 20th century, America's Commander-in-Chief, Theodore Roosevelt, brought fight sports to the White House. He often invited boxers, wrestlers, and martial artists, but not for entertainment or exhibition. They were summoned here to spar with the president. Roosevelt said, "A nation that cannot fight is not worth its salt." So he trained like a fighter throughout his presidency, leading by example, living what he called the strenuous life. Not everyone likes the idea of fights at the White House. But as Teddy Roosevelt famously said, it is not the critic who counts. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly.
I'm excited. You know, and I recently got into watching UFC fights. For a long time, I didn't really care that much, you know, but probably, I don't even know. Probably a few months now, I've been watching a lot of UFC fights. They're pretty entertaining. If you haven't seen them, they're pretty darn entertaining, I might add. And you learn a thing or two, right? And a little self-defense. I ain't saying you're going to learn everything there is to know, but you learn a thing or two. So, yeah, I will definitely be watching that today. Here is a little more coverage on the UFC event and the arena that is set up in the South Lawn at the White House. Check it out.
Sure. On the DC skyline, that would be the Claw. And underneath, inside the octagon, we say hello to Megan O'Leary.
Hey, thank you so much, Brendan. Well, high above the octagon, about 100 feet is that structure you just referred to, the one we are all lovingly calling the Claw. Now, this is 380,000 tons. It was actually created in Belgium. Then it was assembled in Lillits, Pennsylvania, before it made its way here to the nation's capital. The Claw actually houses all of the lighting for the fights. It's over 1,000 fixtures, the PA system, and all of the screens for the South Lawn. The engineering was so detailed and so dialed in that the Claw actually fits within inches of the South Lawn here. It was over 1,000 hours of manpower to create this and get this done. And although it has only been up for a couple of days here in Washington, D.C., really, this has quickly become a landmark to the city. People are talking about it. Cannot wait to see it when the lights go down. It is absolutely unbelievable. But guys, obviously the Claw exists to protect the octagon out here. However, a lot of the fighters love this factor that they're fighting outdoors. So many of them spoke to us in fighter meetings about having experience competing outside at certain points in their professional MMA career. So it's not necessarily new to a lot of the guys who are competing tomorrow night. However, every single person has expressed the layers of excitement they have for not just, yes, a new place, a new environment to compete, but the history that they are seeing all week long, the walkouts, the Claw, I mean, everything, including the fans. And Heidi, I know that you're surrounded by some passionate ones today.
Amazing, amazing, amazing stuff. And yeah, I vividly remember a guy by the name of Kimbo Slice. Some of you know exactly who I'm talking about. He went on to fight in the UFC, but he started off doing backyard fights, just in the back, in random people's backyards, just straight up, no gloves, just raw, fighting with people in the backyard. So yeah, I think that's how a lot of fighters start off, and I believe there's like a big like group that does, you know, kind of backyard fights. Like they make a makeshift, you know, octagon type of deal outside where people come and they fight each other. So yeah, nothing new to a lot of these folks. Nothing new fighting outdoors, and I'm sure some of them probably prefer to fight outdoors. So yeah, great stuff, great stuff. They also did some jumps at the White House, which was pretty darn cool to see. Can't play the music. We can't play that music. Yeah, look at that. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. That is so cool. Really, really cool right there. Doing some backflips. And, you know, that's one of the reasons why I could never own, you know, a motorcycle. And I know those weren't motorcycles. Those were like dirt bikes or whatever. But I couldn't own a bike like that of any sort, because I'd do something stupid with it. If I owned a motorcycle, I would push it to the absolute limit at least once. Like I have to, you know. Now if I survived, I'm good, right? I'll never do it again, but I would at least do it once, you know. Get on some straightaway somewhere and just let it rip until, you know, I'm going 200 miles an hour, which obviously is super, super dangerous for a multitude of reasons. But one, there's nothing to catch you. It's just you and the pavement, and that is it. You know, you're not surrounded in a cocoon of metal like you are in a vehicle. So, yeah, I doubt I will ever own a motorcycle. But that's just me. That's just me. Y'all let me know if you own a motorcycle and if you've ever pushed it to the absolute limit. But I know myself, and I know I would do it. I might not do it when I first got it, but there would come a day where, you know, I'd hop on that thing and I'm like, okay, today's the day. I'm pushing it to the limit. And I'm not letting off the throttle until I get to the absolute limit of this bike. I got to do it at least once. Got to do it, you know? So, instead of putting myself in a bad situation, just won't buy a bike. Okay? Then I'll know I'll never have to worry about pushing anything to the limit.
Ladies and gentlemen,
We're not going to play the music. Not going to play the music. But yeah, such a cool event. Such a cool event. I wish I was in attendance. This would have been cool to be in attendance for. Really, really cool. Absolutely amazing, amazing stuff. Even including, they let a bald eagle fly over the crowd at one point. Check it out. Okay, I'm gonna mute that because once again, there's music playing. We don't need the music. Look at that. How cool is that? How cool is that? And look how big that thing is too. You wouldn't think a bird would be that massive, but some of those things are absolutely huge. There's one clip that I came across. I don't remember where it came from. But there was a clip of a bald eagle flying and landing on, a football field. And it landed like in front of the trainer. And I'm like, holy cow. That thing is huge. Because it landed and like the wings were out. Whoa. And when it's like next to an actual person, you really get, a true comparison of how big it really is. When it's just out there flying, you don't really have anything to really compare it to. I mean, it's a big bird, but you don't really know exactly how big. But when it like lands on someone or it's standing in front of someone with its wings spread out, you really get to see how huge that thing really is. I don't know if I can play this video. I don't think that I can. I think it's copyrighted, but there's Uncle Trump holding a bald eagle. Such a cool thing. Such a cool thing. Man. I also want to play a couple of clips because even in the midst of, Democrats trying their best to, oh my goodness, Trump has destroyed everything. The people still love Uncle Trump. Shout out to Adam Francisco for this video clip, by the way. Check it out.
Happy birthday, Trump.
Hell yeah! We're asking Daytona Beach.
I love you, Donald Trump.
I love you, dog.
Make America better. Again.
Yes, sir. Hell yeah.
We love Donald Trump. I like all right, I don't know, but yeah, we love Donald Trump.
Hell yeah.
Donald Trump.
Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you, Donald Trump, for everything you've done. It's great. We're in Daytona Beach, and I would never want to spend it anywhere else other than the United States, right here in Florida.
We're doing birthday messages for Donald Trump. It's birthday this Sunday.
Donald Trump? Hell yeah.
God bless you guys. Real Americans.
Yes, sir.
Real Americans out here at Daytona Beach. That's right, real Americans.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Trump.
Hell yeah. We're asking Daytona Beach.
You gotta love that, huh? You gotta love that. And I think I had another video saved of something similar. Where was it? Oh yeah, here's another video clip.
I like your hat. Oh yes! Go Trump! Go Trump! You're the best that's ever happened. Thank you, Trump. We love you.
Amazing. And you were excited about the hat, it seemed.
Yeah, I like the hat.
What would you want to say to Donald Trump for his birthday on Sunday?
Love you. Happy.
So yeah, I don't want to play too much of that music, but you get the message. Contrary to what Democrats would like you to believe, there are a lot of Americans who still rock with Uncle Trump. All right? So don't believe the nonsense. Don't believe the lies. All right? Will you be watching the UFC event today? UFC 250? Let me know. Let me know. I know I most definitely will. I am super, super excited to check it out. Definitely going to be a really, really cool event. One thing that I am worried about is the safety, right? Uncle Trump's safety. It is outdoors, so hopefully everything is completely locked down, buttoned up, tight, and secure, because I don't know if you guys saw in one of the video clips, you could see that there are a few buildings that kind of overlook the arena. So even if like you're sitting down in it, where's that video clip? I'm trying to find it now. I don't think that was it. Okay, yeah. Here's a video clip. Yeah, so like even like this building here, you can kind of get an angle down in there. Not the greatest angle, but still, there's still an angle. You know what I mean? So hopefully it is completely locked down and secure, and we've got some Secret Service agents, you know, in all of these rooms, even over here maybe, you know. Hopefully. We shall see. We shall see. But y'all get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions. Stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.